Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is Greg Fawcett, and we're missing Sheila. Where'd she go?
Oh, she'll be right back.
Okay, they're our producers. And we have Stephan Anthony, who writes our affirmations and prayers, and he's going to be reading them today. And our special guest, these artists are so lovely and so much fun that we just want them all the time. This is Barb and Salo.
Yay! Thank you.
We're going to get started with an evocation. So if you join me by closing your eyes, getting comfortable in your seat, and opening up to that one power, that one present that is everywhere, in, through, and as all its creation. It is the creator of everything that is, was, or ever will be. It is the source of love and power and peace and harmony and freedom and clarity and inspiration and so much more. That one life that is my life, and that is the life of each person gathered here today. And so I bless this sacred service, knowing that the words that flow through us touches everybody in a different way, a special way, the way that you came here to understand that each person being part of this service contributes not only in a way of words, but in a way of just being here, gathered together. Where two or more are gathered, there God is in the midst of them. So I give thanks for this beautiful day, give thanks for this wonderful service that's about to unfold, give thanks for life itself. In such a deep sense of gratitude, I now release, let go, and I allow it to be, and so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is.
All right, Barb and Salo, what you got for us?
Well, he's got the whole world in his hands, or she's got the whole world in his hands, and it's a great sing-along. So if you want to sing along, tap your toes, dance around the room. We would invite you to do so.
Yeah.
She's got the whole world in her hands. She's got the whole wide world in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. He's got you and me, brother, in her hands. She's got you and me, sister, in her hands. He's got you and me, brother, in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. She's got my soul and the body in her hands. She's got my soul and the body in her hands. She's got my soul and the body in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the little bitty baby in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. She's got peace in our city in her hands. She's got peace in our city in her hands. She's got peace in her city in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. He's got love in our country in his hands. He's got love in our country in his hands. He's got love in our country in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. She's got the sun and the moon in her hands. She's got the sun and the moon in her hands. She's got the sun and the moon in her hands. She's got the whole world in her hands. We got everybody here in our hands. We got everybody here in our hands. We got everybody here in our hands. We got the whole world in our hands.
I love that he, she bit.
Yeah, me.
Oh yeah, me too.
God is even more than he and she.
Right.
It goes beyond anything we can comprehend, but we like to put things in perspective for our own being.
That's right. God encompasses all.
That's it.
That's right.
So we're gonna make some announcements and a reading and some affirmations, and we'll be back to you in a flash.
Yeah. So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro. You can check us out on our website, cslnorthmetro.org. You can go to contact us and add yourself to the email list, or if you prefer, you can just email info@cslnorthmetro.org.
Mm-hmm.
You can also do a prayer request on the website, and the prayers and affirmations that Stephan writes every week are on the website, so that you can always go refresh yourself with those. So
Or download them.
Download them. Yeah, it's really nice to have them. And Reverend Michael wrote a new blog, so he put up a new blog this week. Is it called Love? Is that the one we just put up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to find out about love, read my blog.
Or, his is a really good writer. They're fun to read. And all of his blogs are out there too, so enjoy. Today's title is Just Be Nice. You've already met our guest artists, Barb Heintzelman and Salo Stanley. The reading today is from Spiritual Liberation by Michael Bernard Beckwith. And Stephan Anthony is going to now, who writes the affirmations, by the way, and the prayer that you'll find out on the website. He's going to do the affirmations and the reading.
Yes.
Yes.
Join us, Stephan.
Here I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Yay.
And hopefully the affirmations will be up there in just a second.
Hopefully they will. There we go.
There they are. Thank you. This is the very moment that God made for me, and it is perfect. I move into the future of my life, one beautiful and powerful step at a time. My body, mind, and spirit are healthy and harmonious now and forever.
Mm-hmm.
The divine light within me shines brightly throughout the entire world. I cherish each moment as the precious gift it is. My words and actions convey the message of love and joy always, and so it is.
So it
It
is.
is.
Awesome.
Thank you. And today's reading from Spiritual Liberation, Fulfilling Your Soul's Potential by Michael Bernard Beckwith. I'm reminded of a story heard about a Zen teacher who has studied the Dharma and meditated for many, many years. His students said that when he became enlightened, he laughed for 2 solid days, developing such spasms he nearly died from laughter. Laughter takes us out of time. For a microsecond, we become extemporal, transported into the gap, a timeless dimension of the real, where we aren't caught, snagged, or snared by our narrow little perceptions, points of view, cherished beliefs, thinking our way into rationalizing and justifying our existence. Laughter is the nectar that flows directly from the soul. It has nothing to do with our circumstances. When we laugh, we touch our inner humanosity. Laughter liberates us from the thinking mind and presents us with precious moments of spontaneous meditation where there arises a super aliveness. Laughter transports us back to an inherent memory of oneness with all life before all of our conditioning into normalcy began. When our laughter is absolute genuine, we can hear the whisper of our inner spirit assuring us that we may recapture our joy, that we may reclaim our original nature made in the image and likeness of spirit and be a conscious co-creator, an artist of our own life. Meanwhile, it is very healthy to be able to laugh at ourselves. If you have difficulty doing this, then ask a few of your friends what they laugh about you behind your back. They aren't being two-faced, because more often than not, these qualities endear you to them. If they're really honest, they'll tell you and give you a great opportunity to laugh at yourself. Someone who really loves you will help you to good-naturedly laugh at yourself and shake off, loosen up your all-caught-upness about your self-image. They also shine a light on those aspects of ourselves that we haven't quite refined, where our potential has not yet fully actualized. Humor is the beginning of wisdom, and wisdom introduces us to reality.
Yeah. Thank you,
That's
Stephan.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we're go back to Barb and Salo.
Yeah, more music. Yay.
More music.
Yay.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we're going to play a music we wrote this week.
Yeah.
It's called Stardust on My Heart. And Salo, why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
Well, we were thinking about joy and trying to write a joyful song. But then I came up with, I heard in my head, Stardust on My Heart, because we all come from the heavens. We all come from the stars. And that when we get born here, we always have stardust on our heart. And when we remember who we are, that light that we are, we always have joy, fear dissipates, and that all is well always.
I love that.
So,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And you haven't even heard it yet.
yeah.
So,
Yay.
so here it is, Stardust on My Heart by Barb and Salo. Joy can heal us, joy can feel us, fear can leave us. I have stardust on my heart. I have stardust on my heart. It'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. We come from the stars. Heaven's always with us. When we remember the bright light that we are, we have joy. When we have joy, fear can't live at the same time. Then everything becomes okay, 'cause we always have stardust on our hearts. Joy can heal us, joy can feel us, fear can leave us. We have stardust on our hearts. I have stardust on our hearts. It's gonna be okay. I remember who I am, and in the night I'm never afraid. I remember who I am joy. I have stardust on my heart. I have stardust on my heart. It'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah.
Ah, I could feel the stardust in my heart
Yeah.
twinkling.
Yay. I can see it from here too.
Beautiful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Again, that was an original. We appreciate that.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Yes,
Brand new. Brand spanking new.
All right. We have a word or two to say, and then we'll be back to you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, here we are again, and we have a title that came through me, and it turned out to be a challenge because the longer we sat with it, the harder it became what we were going to say. And that's happened to me maybe once or twice in all the years, 20 years I've been a minister, and it kind of struck us both. But we jumped in there and decided we'd have a discussion on this whole word, this word called nice. In our teaching, we have a phrase that goes, words are things. So we asked ourselves, well, what thing is nice? What is it? What does it mean? The definition, the surface definition, is pleasant and agreeable, which kind of surprised me because I thought to myself, well, do I have to agree to everything to be pleasant or to or to be nice, and that didn't make sense because I can be pleasant and disagree. So Valerie looked a little further into the origins of the word nice, and you want to share what you got?
Yeah. So it comes from the Latin nescere and nescus, and the nescere means not know, and the nescus means ignorant. So basically, then the write-up about it is, although the word nice tends to be a compliment today, it wasn't that way during the 14th century. It was borrowed from the French, and there it meant silly or foolish. So later it meant dissolute or extravagant in dress. And then from there it went on to mean finely dressed or precise about looks. And then precise changed to precise about reputation. So then as time goes on, it started meaning something like have a refined taste. From there, the positive connotations of the idea of being cultured, respected, or agreeable. So right now, the way things are today, nice is a term of approval. Although we were talking about that too. And so you can say someone's nice, or you can say that's nice.
Or that's nice, like shut up and move along.
Right.
We don't want to hear you. So this word nice just has so many different flavors to it that that in the depth of it, in the beginnings of it, you're stupid.
Right.
Where was I? Oh yeah. We want to. If we say that's nice to everything just to be agreeable, then we're not being nice because we're holding back ourselves. We're holding back the truth that is within us. If somebody says something that's offensive, maybe not necessarily to you, but just offensive, and you want to be nice and not express your feelings because it may upset somebody, then you're not really being nice to yourself. And if you're not nice to yourself, how are you being nice to the other person? Because what you want to say or what you're feeling or what's going on with you from what that other person said is holding back you. And you're not giving the opportunity for the person to really see who and what you are, that you're not sharing your feelings, you're not sharing your thoughts, you're not sharing your ideas. And sharing of ideas, no matter if we agree or disagree, always leads us to a greater truth. When we run our core, what do we call it now?
Leadership team.
Leadership team, from core council, from
board to core council to
yeah.
leadership.
Well, anyway, when we run it, we always agree that the higher truth we'll all vote on. So if I'm the only person that doesn't agree with everybody else, I make the choice because the majority of the council says this, then I will give my yes to it. So we're in agreement. So consensus. That's the word I was looking for. Do you have something to say?
No, I just was filling in your word.
So to me, it's offensive to not share who you are, to not speak your word, to not allow yourself to be seen. So where do we go from there? Well, for me, nice doesn't usually say what's within me. Kindness is clearer for me because the definition of kindness is of a sympathetic or helpful nature. Of a sympathetic or helpful nature.
Okay, well, let's talk about nice some more. I guess I do, because
okay.
I want to talk about nice being always agreeable. For me, it meant taking care of others before myself. And I can remember when I first got into classes that Reverend Michael said, "You want everybody to always be nice?" And I'm like, yeah, I do want everybody to always be nice. And he said, well, what if that's not honest? And like, I still want everybody to just be nice. And So for me, being nice was something that I was taught, and it was not agreeing with people. It was not saying no when the thing wasn't good for me. And I can remember times in my life in the past where I just allowed people to take advantage of me because I was being nice. And so I allow myself to be taken advantage of, and I'd allow myself to be taken advantage of, and I'd allow myself to be taken advantage of. And eventually I'd get kind of sick of it. And then in some cases, I actually lost the friend who probably wasn't that good of a friend anyway, or they wouldn't have been taking advantage of me all the time. And I learned that the only person that's going to stand up for me, or well, somebody else would, but I should be taking care of me. I should be standing up for me. But nice always also meant not saying no. And so then everything somebody asked me to do, I said yes. Will you be on this committee? Yes. Will you do this thing? Yes. Will you make this dinner? Yes. Will you do that thing? Yes. Until I was doing so many things. I can remember a time in my life when I was working way more than 40 hours a week, and I had 2 young kids at home, and I basically went to bed about 2 o'clock at night and got up at 6 o'clock in the morning for years and years and years to just get everything done, which wasn't all that healthy for me. And thankfully I've grown, and I'm learning how to do the things I need to do for me. I still don't have to be unkind, but I'm not necessarily being nice all the time by the definition that I had of nice. Okay, now go back to kind.
Well, I mean, I got ahead of myself. Anyway, I'll define kind. Kind is of a sympathetic or helpful nature. And I'm just remembering something. When I was at Agape, I was the registrar for all the education department. And part of the rules were that they would let you not pay for classes and owe money for the classes for as long as it took. But when you started prac training, you had to have all your classes paid off. And prac training is ecclesiastical arm of our religion, which is a person that took all the main classes and then goes through 2 years of practitioner training, they're like spiritual counselors or spiritual coaches. And so to enter prac training, you had to pay off all the classes if you owed back money. And this one person came in who was one of our minister's favorite people, a musician, a singer, and the classes hadn't been paid off, owed for all the classes, and wanted to enter prac training. So I said, you got to pay the classes off first. And this individual got upset with me because I guess they thought they were special. And to Reverend Michael Beckwith, they were special. So they went to Michael, and he came over to my office and said, let this person through. And I said, I can't do that. He says, what do you mean you can't do that? I said, well, you made up the rules. I just enforced them. So if I do this for this person, then I have to do it for everybody. And I know he was trying to be nice and not cause any problems or afraid that this person would go off and never sing at our service again. And I understood that. And I truly love this person too.
Me too.
And I wanted to be nice to the person, but that wasn't the kind thing to do.
Right.
The kind thing was to play by the rules that everybody else played by, and I had enforced it with other people, and say, no, you can't do this.
Well, it's a spiritual practice too that you really need to go before you go on. You need to understand the practice, right?
Right. So what took place was this individual, not even a week later, was called up and got this job that took her all around the world, and she got to be her true self. And it was so awesome that she spent, I don't know, years on a tour with some big name artist, and her whole life changed because I said no. And eventually this individual came back and paid off all her classes and took prac training, and the kindness of the act of saying no changed the whole connection between all of us. And for me, being kind is being kind to yourself and staying in integrity to yourself, and sometimes having to say no, not always being agreeable, because I could have easily saved myself a lot of pain and suffering by just saying, okay, we'll do it your way. But inside of me, that wasn't the true thing to do. All right?
Well, it wasn't. It turns out it wasn't kind either, because the spiritual practice that we do, we learn how to look within and look at those places that are broken or need healing within ourselves and heal those things. And so by allowing us to not do that work before we take the next step, that's not a favor, because we all, in order to grow and continue on our spiritual journey, we need to check in those places where we're still not whole or broken, and heal those places too. Because how can we help others until we start looking at those places with ourselves and healing those? And so this is really interesting. I've been reading a book by the Dalai Lama, and he was talking about how when he first started traveling, that he expected, because they're living in India in a poor country where people don't have a lot of money, but he said they really depend on each other. And when he started traveling in the world, in the more prosperous countries, in the countries like ours, he discovered that people have left the farms in the country where they were all dependent on each other, and we're now living in cities where we're fairly isolated and we're not depending on each other, and we've become really materialistic in terms of we want a better house and a better car. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying that kind of generally we've gotten into a materialistic place, and that we don't have the connections with each other that we used to have. And he said, I was expecting, because there was more money, because the healthcare is better, because there was, there's clean water and opportunities for things, that people would be happier. And what I discovered is people are not happier. As a matter of fact, people are less happy in those countries where they have more material things than in countries where they don't. And he thinks it has to do with that connection. He was even talking about, he was staying in this home where the people were well off. It was a nice home and everybody seemed really nice. And he said, and I went into the bathroom and the medicine cabinet door was open, and there was all these prescriptions for anxiety and depression and things like that. And so he said, I was just so surprised to recognize that I think what it's coming up with is we need to form those connections with each other as humans. We need those places. And I think we're all really discovering that while we're isolated in our homes, and we're thinking about what are we going to do for Thanksgiving, and all the times and all the things where, like the whole family gets together. I miss even just the little ones. I miss having our center and having everybody sitting around smiling at us when we're talking and eating food afterwards together. I miss all of those things too. And so, as he said, spiritually, I'm concerned with those qualities of the human spirit, such as love, compassion, patience, tolerance, forgiveness, contentment, a sense of responsibility, and a sense of harmony, which brings happiness to both ourselves and others. And he said, I think there's a call for reorientation from our habitual preoccupation with ourselves. It's a call to turn toward the wider community where we are connected, and for changing our conduct to recognize others' interests as well as our own. And I think right now we're in such a polarized place, and it's a lot because we're not connected. Because when we sit down with people and we look in people's eyes, and I know that there's like all different kinds of thoughts and things about what's good and bad and right and wrong, but when we really sit down across a table, I'm thinking about people who were putting on Facebook that they were like in an apartment building and they just put this great big table out in the middle of the hall, and then everybody just brought their dinner out and sat at the table together and got to know each other.
Tribal.
Yeah, when we look in people's eyes and we have a conversation looking at people's eyes, we all want the same things. We all want to be safe and healthy and have our family around us and have our kids be okay and have them have more opportunity than us. And we all, so we can maybe move toward acceptance.
Mm-hmm. So trying to get what that has to do with nice.
I think that's when we move into kind.
Okay. Because nice is appeasing people.
Yeah.
So they don't get angry at you, or they don't. There was this, I think it was an African tribe, that when somebody did something wrong, they didn't ostracize them or they didn't put guilt on them. They circled him or her, and put the individual in the middle and just praised them. And
well, they also, there's one where they sing their song.
oh yeah.
Where there's a song for each person that's born into the community, and so they put them in the middle and they sing their song. Yeah,
and the person becomes healed that way, and so that's kindness. That is being helpful in nature. Yeah. It's not being nice and not looking at what the person did or what the person said. It's opening up your heart to be sympathetic, but not to be, what's the word? Not to be
accepting, condemning. Which way were you going with that?
not to just overlook what the person said or did.
Okay.
But to really express what it is that you're feeling and what it is, how you see it. So you're sharing you're sharing who you are, and you're allowing people to see who you are, and not just hiding behind, oh, that's nice. Or
openly condemning.
Openly condemning?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, that's wrong and you're bad, and
yeah,
this there's one right way and it's this way and it's not that way, and because I think there's a really lot of that going on right now. It's like, you believe this, you're bad.
Right. If you believe this, you're good.
And then it depends on which side of whatever issue it is you're standing on, and the truth is, none of it's black and white.
No.
There are nuances to everything. There are conditions, and anyway.
So as you can see, we had a little battle with this whole subject, and
it's been very interesting.
And we didn't want to tell each other, oh, just be nice, because what does that mean? What does it mean to say, oh, here's one, when Valerie has cooked me a meal, and she says, well, how do you like it? And I said, it's nice. That means that means so much, something different to her than it does me, because in sincerity, I mean, it's nice.
And I'm thinking, I went through all this effort and it's just nice. So never mind, I won't do that anymore.
So the word nice takes us on an interesting journey. It took us on an interesting journey. And I'm looking forward to a discussion afterwards with with those people that join us on Zoom to further this, easy for me to say, further this discussion and talk about what it is that it means to be nice.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't mean don't stand up for our values.
Right.
Because that's really important that we stand up for our values. And we can do that without attacking.
Well, it's important to be heard.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be argumentative. It can be kind. You can share your feelings and what's on your mind and how you see something with kindness. It doesn't have to be in an attacking way, but to take a stand that you want to be nice and not share what has come up for you just keeps you down, keeps you in a place of not discovering who you are. Because when a discussion's taking place and everybody's just being agreeable, where can you go? But when different people see things different way, we can get to a higher truth that is good for everyone.
I think it can be really isolating too, because I've had instances where I discovered that I'm probably in the minority in the conversation that's going on, and so I have a tendency to just shut up or go away.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we learn how to share our values in a non-threatening way, although, I mean, we're not in charge of how a person perceives it or receives it, but we are in charge of what was in our heart when we said it and how we said it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So if somebody that is close to you says something and what they say to you feels offensive, but to them, they're just expressing themselves, don't say, just be nice. Because it's like saying, don't share yourself. Don't share what you have to say. It's unimportant. So this word, nice.
Well, that reminds me of being told, as I'm expressing myself, being told, it's not what you say, it's how you're saying it. And so I can remember when we first got together, you said, you go all the way around the thing and you don't say it. I said, that's from previous training. so he's like, just say what you're thinking, just say it. It's okay. You can say it. And my previous training had been, don't upset anything. Don't dump over anything.
Be nice.
Yeah, just be nice. Yeah. Don't ask for what you need. Just be nice.
And I love the reading that Stephan did by Michael Beckwith, to ask those that are close to you to say what.
I don't think I want to do that.
One of the gifts that I feel I have is to be able to laugh at myself.
Yeah, you are. I'm not so good at that.
And it's so freeing. It's like putting yourself in prison to not be able to laugh at yourself, because we do things that are so silly and we don't realize it, or we say things that are so silly and we don't realize it, and somebody points it out and it is funny.
Okay, so that comes from having to always be perfect for me. So learning to understand, first of all, that nobody's perfect all of the time and that we all make mistakes, and that it's okay if I make a mistake and I can laugh at it. That's been a growth challenge for me. It's a lot better. But
Oh yeah.
and I still have work to do on that.
Because it used to be, you're just being mean. And it's like, I'm being mean. I'm just finding the humor in this. She wasn't ready for the humor.
Well, this
I was not being
right,
nice.
right. And he was pointing out that I wasn't perfect, and that was not acceptable. So yeah, so we both grow, huh?
Yeah, we do. So what else?
Well, that's what I had to talk about today. Did you have other things? Because we're a little bit less wordy than sometimes we are, but if we've said everything we need to say, then that's good.
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you complete?
I know Greg and Sheila would like us to end early so they can get up to their mountain cabin. So we'll be nice and let them do that. We'll be kind and let them do that. Well, let's pray then.
Let's do that.
You're going to kick it off? You
Yeah.
want me to kick it?
You want to?
Okay. So once again, please join us by closing your eyes, clearing your mind, opening your heart, and taking the sacred journey to within. And before I speak the word, I want you to think of a time and a place where you had to go against what you were feeling to be nice to somebody or to some group. Think of that particular time. Maybe it was with your parents, maybe it was with siblings, maybe it was with a group of people that weren't in a place where you felt integrity to want to speak out. Just get a feeling of what it was like holding back yourself by being nice and not upsetting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel that? Can you feel how restricting that is?
Mm-hmm.
And just get a feeling and picture yourself speaking out and standing up for yourself or standing up for somebody else and not being afraid to, in kindness, say what you're feeling. And then release by just thinking of what it is that you would have said and how you would have said it in a kind way. Allow yourself to just be with that. And so, knowing the truth of all life, that all life is God. My life, your life, all life is God, because God is all. The isness and the allness of the universe. The creator of everything that was, is, and that ever will be. God, the sacred energy that is everywhere present. And so I invite you to tap into that Godness within you and recognize your divinity. Recognize how sacred you are. And know that everything you've ever done in your life fulfills you in this moment. And you're freed of any guilt, any mistakes, any hurt that you feel you may have caused somebody. And allow yourself to soar by knowing who and what you are. A divine child of God, made in God's likeness and image, perfect, whole, and complete. And so I know that this day, each one of us has discovered exactly what they needed. And that discovery will continue to expand and reveal more and more to each person. That each one of us is uplifted, inspired to not hold themselves back, inspired to step forward and live their life in integrity to themselves by being kind to themselves, and that kindness spreads out to all others. I know this is the day that God has made, and I rejoice in it. And I pass it to Brother Valerie.
Thank you. So let's just spread this word out across our city, our county, and our state, and our country. And let's just take a minute to bless each and every person, to bless all of the people that work in the governments, and all of the federal workers and all of the other workers. Let's just take a minute to hold each person in our awareness and know for each of us, for this country, peace and truth and harmony and abundance and prosperity and awareness and life and love and enough food and enough safety and enough relationships and enough money. It's just no enough. And let's just spread it out further. Let's just spread it across the whole world. Let's spread that peace and that love and that harmony and that truth and that joy and that oneness. Let's spread freedom. Let's spread love. Let's spread peace. Let's spread abundance.
Yes.
Just everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. We just send that out from the essence of our being. We just send out that love and send out that peace and send out that joy and know that each person is feeling that love and that joy and that peace and that wonder and that healing, that we are healing all of our own issues, all of the things that we came here to heal. We are healing. We are healing it in ourselves, and we're helping to heal it in those we come in contact with in any way, that we are blessed and we are the blessing, and we bring that blessing forth with everyone we come in contact with in any way this day and going through this week. We just spread that love and spread that joy and spread that peace and spread that truth, that oneness, that allness, that isness. We spread it, we hold it, we know it's so, and we hold each person who's asked for prayer in any way this week. So whether they was on our website or whether they called us or the ones that we're praying for all of the time, we hold each one of them in absolute love and in peace and in joy, and know that they're healing their body temple and their mind and their body and their spirit. Each one of us is healing. We're becoming that which we came here to be, each one of us. And so I'm so grateful, grateful to know this truth, grateful to be this truth, grateful to hold this for all of us. And so I know that this is being manifested right here and right now, here in our home and out across the planet. We're healing, we're loving, we're living. And so I know this is done in the mind of God. I know it is manifesting right here and right now. I hold that it is true. I hold that it is done. And so I know that there's nothing more for me to do but release it. Let it go, let it manifest, allow it to be. And so all together we say, and so it is. Ashe, amen, and woohoo! Yay. So I think we're probably ready for some music. Yeah.
And I think our response was Sashay Shante.
Yes.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you. And the song we like to continue with is from our CD, Barb and Salo. It is already done. It's called All Is Well.
All is well in the universe.
Everything, all is well.
Yep.
Conscience of unity on its way, coming on angels' wings, on beautiful rays. No more duality, no hardened schemes, no shattered hearts, no broken dreams. All is well. Love is all we see. When love is all we see, we soften our shell. Our vision is clearer now, and know all is well. No more duality, no hardened schemes, no shattered hearts, no broken dreams. All is well. Love is all we see. Only an angel's touch will heal our souls. And when we're open, the parts become whole. Only one mind, and we are all wise. Hearts are expanding, our dreams take flight. All is well. Love is all we see. When we arise to the portal of light, we begin to vision an angel's sight. Only one mind, and we are all wise. Hearts are expanding, our dreams take flight. All is well. Only one mind, and we are all wise. Hearts are expanding, our dreams take flight. All is well. Love is all we see.
Wow, that was so beautiful.
Love it. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Did you say that's on one of your albums?
Yep.
Yes, we wrote that.
Yeah, that's on the It Is Already Done CD.
And tell people again where to go to buy it.
Just go to Itsy Galactic Light Art. Just put in Itsy Galactic Light Art. It's on my website. I'm an artist, but I also have our CD on my art website, Itsy Galactic Light Art. Just type it in on Google and you'll find it.
Check out their art too. It's amazing.
Yes, they are.
It really is. Thank you so much. Wow. That was
Thank you.
Yeah. We're going to do a few more things and then we'll get the last song from you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay. You like people to give.
So we're inviting you to turn into your heart and allow Spirit to be generous through you by seeing where you are on your journey and how much you love what we're doing. You can show that love by giving some treasures, and we would, with our heart, accept them and know that as you give, it multiplies back to you in your life. It's the principle that you can test yourself. I've tested in my life and I know it works. So if you're moved, please contribute through these ways that you see on the screen that I can't read. You want to read it?
Yeah. So if you have Venmo, you can use the QR code up in the corner of the screen. The easiest way is probably to just go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org. There's a couple ways to give there. And if you're a person that likes text, that information's right there on the screen too. Text YUGIVE to 888-364-GIVE.
So now I invite you to shine your energy at the screen and repeat after me. We give thanks to the Spirit within
We give thanks to the Spirit within
for its generosity in our lives.
for its generosity in our lives.
We give freely
We give freely
from the love in our heart,
from the love in our hearts,
knowing it spreads across the globe
knowing that it spreads across the
and
globe
touches many
and
lives
touches many lives
and comes back multiplied.
and comes back
For
multiplied.
this and so much more,
For this and so much more.
we say thank you.
We say thank
Let
you.
it be,
Let it be.
and so it
And
is.
so it is. Okay.
Barb, Salo,
Yes.
Yay.
do your thing.
All right. For our last song, here's a Linda Webb Kakaba song.
Oh.
I Gave Thanks. One of our favorites.
Yes.
There was pain in my body. I gave thanks and it's gone.
Yeah.
There was pain in my body. I gave thanks and it's gone. I accepted things that I wanted. I let go of the things that I don't. I gave thanks. 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 And it's gone. There was a hole in my pocket. I gave thanks and it's gone. There was a hole in my pocket. I gave thanks and it's gone. I accepted the things that I wanted. I let go of the things that I don't. I gave thanks. 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 And it's gone. There was a hole in my spirit. I gave thanks, now I'm free. There was a hole in my spirit. I gave thanks, now I'm free. I accepted things that I wanted. I gave thanks to things that I don't. I gave thanks. 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 And now I'm free.
Yeah. Hallelujah. Amen. Woo. Wow.
So join us on Zoom right after this service and share your aha moments. Hopefully we have a really lively discussion today. The comments have the link to the Zoom meeting. If you didn't get it in the comments, you can always find it on our website, cslnorthmetro.com, in the comments. And you can sign up and get on our email list so that you have all those things
Every week.
every week. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So thank you, Sheila and Greg, for job well done. I know you got to take off and go to your cabin, so
You're very welcome.
we'll give
Great
thanks.
topic and great music. Great
Yeah,
service.
it was wonderful. Thank you so
And
much.
thank you, everybody, for joining in with us today. Spread the word to your friends and your loved ones and tell them to tune in with us every week.
Yeah, and look forward to seeing people on Zoom after.
Yes.
All right.
God bless.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Oh,
Thank you.
Father. Yeah.